today. Bear with me one moment. I just have, can see my phone here. So thank you everyone for coming here today. To honor my brother, Henry J. Grobby Jr. Really means a lot to me and my family to have so many people coming here to celebrate his life. I ask that everyone please remain seated for the next few minutes, just to give anyone a chance who may want to come up and speak. Do we have anyone who wants to come up and speak today?
I'll attempt. I can't make any promises.
The floor is yours.
Oh, no. I don't have one confidence. Yeah. I know. Thank you. Oh, this is not easy, and honestly a little awkward. Henry and I, honestly, for the most part, did not get along very well until the past 2 years, because, sorry. At the end of the day, this child is what matters. A lot of people would judge, but people tend to judge what they don't understand. Unfortunately, I did understand. I did understand. And I stood by and stood by and stood by, and eventually it did break us. We fought like hell. He wanted to kill me half the time, but the past 2 years, literally, we put everything to the side, focus on this one over here. I wanted a relationship with his father. He wanted a relationship with his father. It was long overdue. And I noticed once that started coming around, oh my God, I'm shaking. Henry's tone changed. I heard the smile in his voice. I didn't have to see it. I heard the smile. He became my go-to text when this one got a good grade, did something stupid. And even when we weren't talking, I could hear the sarcasm from Henry being like, what's this kid up to now? What did he say? He definitely got the lack of common sense from my brother. Sorry, Tommy, love you. but that was Henry's thing, and he's looking down on all of us, but especially that one. Okay? We need to know that. He loved you more than you will ever know. Don't doubt it just because the time you had with him was short. The time you had with him, he was okay. And you were his world. Okay? I'm going to sit because I'm about to collapse. But he became one of my best friends. He did. And you can laugh at me because everyone knows me, Carol, Butch. We fought to death. But the past 2 years, we're family again. And I hate that it took a death for it to happen. But now I got a third family. You got a better relationship with your grandparents and your uncle and Shuhan. And unfortunately, this is what it took, but never to be broken again. So we kind of have to thank Henry for that. And I know he's at peace. I know he's at peace. He didn't want to be in pain anymore. He's okay. He's okay. Okay, guys. Can I breathe now?
Okay. So before I start, would anyone else care to say a few words?
Thank you. Well, my name is Karen Striegel. I'm a dear friend of Carol's here. I didn't know Henry very well, or Butch. Hank, sorry, Butch is out there somewhere. I saw you clopping around. There you are. Hey, if you didn't walk in this door, I would have been walking around town looking for this place. Anyway, This lady put her whole heart and soul into this guy. He was a good young man until he went the wrong way. And I understand that. My son's an addict. And every day I wake up and say, I hope he's going to live another day. Now I have a granddaughter. So it's difficult. And I know that he's at peace. That gives you some comfort. But I'll tell you what, I don't know of anyone who worked harder and tried harder for him than this lady right here. And that's really why I'm here. I love you.
Do we have anyone else who would care to say a few words? So bear with me. When I sat down to write this eulogy, it was really difficult. It wasn't easy. I know everyone here is familiar with the demons that followed my brother and eventually took his life. No problem. Take a seat. It'd be easy to sit here and talk about the immense suffering that he went through for years as an addict and how it slowly took everything away from him. But this is a story that we've all heard far too many times, as the number of overdoses here in the US are hitting all-time highs. I want everyone here today to remember my brother for who he was and what he did despite his disease. He took care of my mother for 7 years that he lived with her while she had her apartment. My mother's aides weren't always the best, and that's giving them credit. And when they didn't provide proper care, my brother was the one who filled those shoes. He made meals. He fed my mom. He helped her go between rooms. He did chores around the house. And I give him a lot of credit for being able to do this because, quite frankly, I couldn't. My brother loved his son, Tyler, very, very much. Tyler, your dad desperately wanted you to be closer with the family, and I believe that he's resting easier seeing the relationship that you now have with myself, Grandma, and Grandpa. I truly believe your father's biggest regret was not being able to spend more time with you, as he was so proud of the man that you're becoming. My brother's life only lasted 38 years, and he never got a chance to do many of the things that he wanted to in his life. For those of you who didn't know, my brother was smitten with many reptiles that he has pets over the years, and loved to watch videos about all things reptile on the internet. He eventually wanted to own his own reptile store, but much like his dreams of being able to fly planes, it sadly wasn't in the cards. The next section, I really debated back and forth about whether or not to say to everyone here, but I'm going to say it anyway because I feel like it really shows the strength of character he had despite what went on in his life. After my brother's passing, I found out something that I wanted to share with everyone here that I feel really showed his strength and determination to make the most of what he was given. For well over a decade, my brother has been working with law enforcement to assist in the apprehension of drug dealers all across the island. After he passed, an officer who he worked with closely reached out to send his condolences and process the information about what happened. During this time, he shared with me about how he was working with my brother and how my brother, though he knew he wasn't able to escape his addiction, walked into the precinct and asked to speak to someone from the narcotics unit, voluntarily telling them that he would like to be an informant. As the years went on, the information that my brother relayed through law enforcement would eventually be directly responsible for several dealers on the island being arrested and going to jail. My brother was still trying to do the best he could for others, even if he wasn't able to help himself. As you leave here today, I hope you remember my brother as he was when he impacted your lives. Perhaps playing hockey on rollerblades in the street back in the day, learning to ride a bike, or baking cookies as he loved to do around Christmas time. Maybe it was an inside joke you might have shared, or a vacation in Vegas. Perhaps when it was when he rescued a feral cat from his truck route. However you remember him best, hold on to that memory. Don't let it be corrupted by what the disease did to him. My mother has selected a song she would like to have played, and we're going to give a quick slideshow of some of the pictures that we have of my brother. Unfortunately, the TV is mounted on this wall, so if I could have everyone kind of slide this way, because some of you won't be able to see it over there.